What I'd like to do is to explore what busy work is and what it has cost you, and how easy it is to fall foul of busy work and low output. Many dedicated people often betray themselves with busy work. And in this episode, I'm going to show you 3 easy to do hacks that you can apply today and offer you a free download too, so that you can audit your own busy work process and improve yourself. Stick with me for a little while and we'll go through some of the signs and symptoms of somebody who's suffering from busy work, and we will offer some ways that we can go forward. This is going to be one of 3 episodes dedicated to this particular issue. So stick with us and let's get started. So if you will, I'd like to explain to you, if you will give me the permission to do so, how busy work presents and the signs and symptoms of somebody who is experiencing busy work. And I'd like us to be able to treat this video as an entry point for better clarity. We're going to diagnose and evaluate. I will offer you some hacks and I will offer you a free PDF so that you can audit your own busy work quotient. But for now, let's have a look at some of the ways that busy work can manifest and how it can impact on one's life. Some of the signs and symptoms of busy work include task avoidance. And this sounds paradoxical, does it not? How can you be avoiding tasks if you are engaging in busy work? I know, you're going to be getting up early, you're going to be hitting the books, but you're going to be hiding in the undergrowth. You're going to be delving into all of the minutiae, and you're not going to be thinking strategically because you're hacking away trying to get so many things done. And so what happens is avoidance then becomes a form of procrastination. How can that be so? How can it be that if you're setting your alarm clock and your calendar and you're working every hour that God sends, how can anybody accuse you of procrastination? The truth of the matter is that you are procrastinating because you're expending and diffusing so much of your energy on work that doesn't ultimately matter. It feels like it matters at the time because what you've got there is a bit of an addiction to the dopamine hit. So procrastination is going to be disguised as activity, but in fact, when you look at your output and you evaluate what you're actually getting done, strategically speaking, you may find that the busy work is in fact impeding your progress. And of course, it has a security blanket feel to it, because in your inexperience or lack of strategic know, you can hack away at the undergrowth and get involved in all sorts of side projects, all sorts of distractions. Every time you do so, you're going to get a dopamine hit. And the dopamine hit is going to feel like a warm security blanket. Almost like an addictive quality. What it can start to do is to tell you that your actions are valid, even when they're not, because of the feel-good factor that comes along with getting things done. But getting things done is a very misleading term. And the reason it's misleading is because it can invite you to assume that you're getting more done, when in fact you're just getting things done. Another symptom of busy work and how it's impacting on a person can be a sense of fake urgency. You might feel that you're hitting it like Hermosi, and his advice is useful. However, you will find that somebody like Alex Hermosi, for example, engages in directed strategic output, and that's not quite the same as what we call busy work. This is going to result in a constant bombardment with panic attacks. This is another symptom of somebody who is suffering from busy work. Panic attacks become your motivation. I'm not talking about the kind that are going to cause you to feel like you're having a heart attack. What I'm talking about are the minor crises that affect you throughout your working day as you feel you're pedaling faster and harder and getting nowhere. Busy work will do that to you, and often The way that you will try to overcome the panic is by engaging in more panicked behavior. What's the sum total of this? Well, the final symptom that I'm going to discuss here, and by means it is not the only last symptom of busy work, the final one we'll discuss here is lack or loss of agency. Because unfortunately, by engaging in busy work, you have accidentally surrendered the very thing that you're seeking to gain. You're seeking to gain control and agency over your life by getting things done. But in fact, you're hiding under a morass of paperwork, distractions, diffused activity, referencing online gurus who each bring their own special brand of busy work to you. And the net result is that slowly but surely, in the panic and the frenzy, you begin to lose your own sense of agency. You're now in a situation whereby the busy work is causing you to reject and lose your own personal autonomy. I get it. I have a story of my own to tell. In order to share my story, I had to duck out for a little while and come back. My symptoms of busy work. Not one, but two handheld recorders, in case I have an idea while I'm driving. Over the previous couple of years, I've accumulated a stack of journals. This is my busy work. Don't get me wrong, it's been useful to keep journals, it's been useful to keep a note of my thoughts and my feelings and my ideas. However, I'm half afraid to audit these journals because I strongly suspect, that there will be some very prevalent themes throughout the journals. If I were to audit my own journals, I would find that I've been wading through treacle. I've been engaging in diffused activity. I've been seeking the same answers to the same questions because I've lacked strategic intention. My approach to personal development was one of epic vanity because I thought that through the sheer strength of my intellect, I would be able to overcome my limitations and take on the project and just discover as I went along. But I was sorely mistaken. And the reason I can say this now is because I now realise that over the previous couple of years, I've been engaging in what we are now calling busy work. I've displayed all of the symptoms. I've been lost in the reeds. I've been overwhelmed. I've had to regroup, rethink, repurpose. And ultimately, all of the work that I've done and the things that I've achieved, I believe now could have been achieved in a third of the time. I'm not, however, going to totally reject the work that I put in because it has brought me to a learning. And it's brought me to a stage where I feel confident and have the authority to be able to share with you my findings. What I'd like you to take from this is that instead of stumbling on the power of strategic thinking, like I have, you engage in strategic thinking at the outset. Be a little bit more cut and dried about what the outcomes you require are. Prepare yourself to be more focused on the things that you require and to drive yourself towards those things. Try to reject busy work because it is the devil's plaything. So, what can I offer you? What kinds of advice or hacks can I offer to you to assist you to overcome some of the limitations that busy work presents to you? Well, I have a downloadable PDF for you, and I'll put it in the link below. But before we get to the end of this session, let's just have a little bit of a look at what busy work can cost us and why busy work is dangerous, almost pathological, when we get too deep into it. The reason I'm sharing this with you is because if I don't tell you what busy work has cost you, you're going to have very little incentive to take my points seriously. The hidden costs of busy work on anybody who suffers from it. First of all, let's have a look at the hidden costs of busy work on relationships, especially for a provider or somebody who feels they're on a mission or who is seeking to establish their autonomy. Busy work can feel like you're doing the right thing, when in fact it can suck you away from your family, from relationships, from your loved ones, time with your children, time with your partner, time with somebody who could become a partner. All of those are going to suffer if you are lost in the reeds, hacking away in the undergrowth, covered in the minutiae and the stress and the panic of busy work. And then consider the time. Consider the way, if you think about the Pareto principle, for example, which suggests that of 100% of things done, 20% yields actual results. This means that you could potentially be wasting up to 80% of your time doing stuff which has no fucking use. That's busy work. So not only are your relationships likely to suffer, relationships that you may have or form are likely to suffer, and of course time, as the sand through the hourglass, etc. Time is now being dispelled, wasted. And let's face it, of all of the resources in this world that we are granted, time is the most valuable one. Don't let busy work seduce you into thinking that you're using your time more usefully than you actually are. And the third thing that we should consider is a loss of cash. Opportunities to engage with other people, opportunities to latch on to financial gains, opportunities to be out there hustling or actually drumming up business. All of these things can be lost as a result of somebody being wrapped up in the busy work. Don't waste precious time, precious relationships, and precious money chasing dreams. Don't allow yourself to become the devil's plaything. So how are we going to deal with it? Well, I think I've already said that I'm going to offer you 3 hacks that you can try to apply this very day. So let's get down to that. 3 hacks to try and conquer the spectre of busy work. Hack number 1 is the 1 outcome rule daily. At the start of the day, write down 1 single important necessary outcome that you must achieve. Make your day an auditable success by setting out your stall in this way. Set yourself 1 valuable outcome and then work to achieve that outcome. Eradicate your distractions. Stop consuming and scrolling. Stop looking for other stuff to do. Focus on your 1 achievable outcome daily. And having achieved that 1 thing, take stock of how that felt and take stock of whether you could actually double up going forward. Start with one achievable outcome. Focus on that and teach your brain to focus and get its dopamine hits from achieving something tangible. Hack number 2 is the 30-minute friction test. Basically, use a timer. Set yourself up on task in a 30-minute window. Make it so that you set a timer for 30 minutes and you go like clappers, working on that achievable, important outcome. Once you get into the habit of doing this, you're able to partition your day in a very useful way, because you can take time out. You can spend time not in frenzied activity. In fact, I invite you to do that. And the way that you can do that is by setting discrete packages of time out for yourself to do the good stuff, and then you can do the same with time out where you want to relax. So instead of chasing your tail, set yourself a 30-minute window, put a bit of friction into the process, and that's hack number 2. Hack number 3 is have a weekly kill list. My jury, personally, is a little bit undecided about this one, but I'm going to share it with you anyway. And if you find that it's useful to you, feel free to comment and let me know. And if you find that it's a crock of shit, please do let me know. This is a work in progress. I'm not the be-all and end-all. These are recommendations based on experience, I hasten to add. But we're all different in some ways. But I digress. The weekly kill list is how you set out your stall for your week. It could be how you itemize the one significant thing you need to do each day. It could be how you partition your days into your 30-minute packages. Having established some kind of strategic direction and a sense of controlled urgency around the outcomes you require, try these 3 hacks and see if, for a week, they can help you to become liberated from the busy work and the hacking around in the undergrowth. Because let's face it, when you're hacking around in the undergrowth, you can't see the sky, you can't see the stars, all the trees look the same. It's like you have no direction, no compass. So let's get ourselves out of that bad habit and into a purposeful, strategically relevant approach. So thank you and well done, fellow seeker, for hanging on in this long. These are not tricks. They're not productivity tricks. I call them hacks because I want people to see them as relatively easy to apply. So we're not here to try and trick ourselves into getting more productive. What we're here to do is to try to teach our brain and our neurology new, better habits. Never before has it been easier to become distracted. We consume more information in a 12-hour day than many people used to consume in a whole lifetime. So the temptation to become distracted and to get stuck in to the minutiae is very great. It's a modern malaise. So well done again. I hope these hacks are useful to you, and I hope that you would like to download the audit. Feel free, I'll put a link below. Next episode, I'm going to invite you to second curve it. What we're going to do is we're going to, having diagnosed the situation, we're going to lock in some changes and some ways that we can take what we know, our own raw material, and then use that to develop a more strategic outlook towards our productivity and towards our better life outcomes. So join me for the next episode, and I hope you have a good day. And I'll leave you with this particular thought. Whatever it is you dare to do or to dream, begin it now.